our last quick fire, and that has to do with the federal government that hinted that the second Operation Safe Corridor Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Camp will soon be operational in the Northwest region to encourage willing, low-risk terrorists and bandits to lay down arms. Now, we need to talk about this. This has been happening since 2015, I believe, whereby, people who have been involved in some form of terrorism in the country are given the opportunity to surrender their arms, and then there's a form of rehabilitation, to reintegrate them into society. Now, what do we call this?
I need to hear your
no, but I don't even know how this is a conversation. Like, what are we saying now? You're telling me that people that have killed people that have destroyed things that belong to Nigeria, people that have destroyed lives in Nigeria, we are reintegrating them back into society, and they get to start with a clean slate.
Yeah, and they're not held accountable for things they've done.
Get out.
Okay,
go.
Deck, quickly.
All right, so first and foremost, I would like for us to break it down so that people know exactly what we're talking about. So basically, this I believe is what happened in the Niger Delta, where the amnesty program.
Yeah,
all right, definitely. So what they're doing is the federal government is saying that we want to give amnesty to bandits, what's it called, Boko Haram or what have you, and all of those insurgent. Should I say victim? Are they victims, or they are the propagators? The perpetrators. For me personally, right? I would give second chances, especially because you must also understand that some of them were coerced into joining this. So it's either you join or we kill you.
Okay.
So I'm sure that nobody wants to be in war for life.
All right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Some people want a second chance at life. They want to marry. They want to have kids. They want to live a normal life.
People they killed during that.
That's so. The thing is this.
Okay, so
hold on. What's the essence of sending people to prison when they kill people? Reform. That's essentially what they're trying to do.
But they are not going to prison.
So yeah. So I mean, what you must understand is this, right? This is a very intricate issue. It's an issue that if you handle with force, I mean, let's scratch that. We have handled this issue with force for the past how many years? What has it resulted in? It has disintegrated. It has caused issues. Now the federal government is saying, okay, you know what? We don't want to use force anymore. Lay down your weapons. Come, let's train you to be better people, to join society.
Okay, so
let's do better.
I hear you.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't think that's too bad.
Wait. It's not too bad, but accountability. Gang, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay. I'm not from the north, but some people assume that people from the middle belt, especially from my place, Plateau, were more northern. This is something that was foreseen years ago. The agenda with so many of these terrorist groups, they've taken the template from militants. Like you said, amnesty situations. They know that when they hold the government to a certain level, that amnesty will be provided for them, and they'll get away with these things. Okay. So it's been in the pipeline for years. If you're on the streets, they know that eventually at the end of the day, the way the Nigerian government operates, they will negotiate with terrorists. They will negotiate with these people and find a level playing ground to say, okay, let's bring them in, do this, do that. But the government really needs to consider the lives of the people affected. The people that have been terrorized, that have been kidnapped, have been killed. There's some people that have still don't know where their family members are.
That's correct.
From their daughters, from the Chibok girls to so many other girls that have been kidnapped, that have become mothers by force, and so many other things that I have not considered. So the federal government needs to take a stand, not just when it comes to the terrorists, but even with militants and any other kidnapping organization in the east, southeast, everywhere,
because
to let them know
that
I want to ask two questions. Yeah. One question is for you and one question is for Femi. The question for you is this. I agree totally to the fact that, yes, they have killed people, they have done this and that. And I think the government should find a way to, talk to these guys and say, okay, you know what, if you can release these people to their families so that, of course, we can all, move on and all
of that. Let's start afresh.
What exactly would you have the federal government do in that regard? That's one. Two, please, Femi, what would you have the federal government do if you are saying they shouldn't offer them amnesty?
I'll answer for him because I know his train of thought here. So,
How do you know?
well,
That's interesting.
I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
no, so you're asking me what would I have the government do
Yes, please.
against terrorists, pockets of terrorists? We're talking about the Nigerian government, Nigerian army, Nigerian navy,
The armed forces
of Nigeria. If we are really serious, Boko Haram, you can wipe it out in 1 month. If we are serious, let's be honest, they don't have planes. The Nigerian government has planes. They don't have tanks. The Nigerian government has tanks. They don't have a navy. So if we want to tell ourselves the truth, you know the government knows what to do. The government knows what to do. If you want to wipe these people out, it takes you less than a month. All of this conversation of negotiating with terrorists should not even come up in the first place. Because first of all, now, we say we're all equal in Nigeria. If people have committed crimes and they've done all these horrible things, and they get to go away scot-free, so why do I now go to jail for committing the same crime they commit?
Exactly.
Is that equal?
That was the point I was going to get.
What
now,
are we saying?
Let me reiterate, because he has actually spoken my mind. Now, I want to take this a little step further. That is why there's still corruption in this government.
Exactly.
Because we forgive people and allow them to get away with certain things.
Yeah.
And people feel, let me not lie to you, the mindset with Nigerians now is that if I embezzle or commit fraud of a certain amount, if I pay back this amount, I'm allowed to go scot-free.
The bigger it is,
do you understand?
the easier you
so
go.
the government needs to let people know that what stops another fraction from coming up
springing up
today and say this is what we're going to do to
Take a
Nigeria.
stand. Take a stand.
I mean, come on.
And then we know that the government will act this way after a few years when they cannot defeat us. They need to take a stand and set an example and eradicate these people
once
on all
and
fronts.
for all.
From militants to terrorists to kidnappers.
Once and for
Get
all.
rid of them. Because truth be
It's
told,
not hard.
if it wasn't for the fact that they know that there's some people that are politically aligned to these terrorists and their agenda, where did they get there? Somebody once told me that with all our education, 4 men here on the black table, do you know where to get weapons from? Financially, can you buy a gun today and know how to source it? That an illiterate man that cannot speak English is being armed with sophisticated weapons that globally, so somebody is behind them. They have they know people that bring themselves to the table to have meetings on behalf of these people. So the government needs to take a stand and eradicate this thing.
And I really,
Right.
Because this is a war. The government is at war.
Okay,
Thank you.
do you want me to
we need to go.
Have we answered your question or
give me a
not?
right of rebuttal
No,
now.
no,
let me just let me respond.
Dek,
No, but let's hear it.
Dek, no,
let's hear it.
That's fine.
No, we need to take our main topic for today,
okay.
which is the International Women's Day happening tomorrow. But before we do that, I'm going to ask you guys a quick question. Would you rather always be the smartest guy in the room but misunderstood, or be average but loved by all? It's a yes or no. Would you rather? Would you rather be the smartest guy in the room but misunderstood, or be average and loved by all? Would you rather be the smartest guy here right now?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You rather be okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Rich uncle.
It's okay to be misunderstood. I've lived it all my life. It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. There's
You
nothing
know I
wrong
don't
with
care
it.
about people's opinions
It's
on
okay.
myself and
Okay.
stuff like that. So
It's
it's always
okay.
good to just be. But if I'm misunderstood, it's your fault. For
It's your fault.
misunderstanding.
Exactly.
We
Level
you
up.
give them the truth. You give them the facts. You don't understand it.
That's on you.
You're on your
That's
own.
on you.
You want to be
Okay.
average and loved by anybody? Fake love,
Fake-
never.
No.
Be average, not my place.
All right.